Hi everyone, it's Jean. I hope to find you all well and enjoying the weather wherever you are. Here it is so hot again. So I have a couple things to show you. First of all, I don't know if you remember this journal that I had put together. The base of it is a paper bag, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to introduce it to you today, because we are going to be working with paper bags. So this particular journal came about by folding some paper bags and creating a cover, and then of course the inside is just all different pieces of different papers, and some that are tea stained, some that are not. There's some coloring pages, there's all kinds of stuff in here. But firstly, I did put an envelope pocket in here with a little flip out and a it's kind of a cluster or an edge. I had repurposed some images, and this is what we came up with for that. So that is actually glued in. And then we come to this page. If you recall, we did this one. This one is also paper bag, but it is just a top-loading place for you to put tags. And I like this because when you put your tags in here with some pretty seam binding or other types of ribbon to make a nice little topper for your tag, it will kind of make some decoration and some interest at the top of the journal. Additionally, I clipped in one of our houses we made, and I also clipped in another house that we made. Now, since then, we've made some other houses, and I'm going to put some of those in here. I'm just not sure yet how. And this is going to be a very eclectic journal. So looking at it, you may think, oh, it's going to be like a shabby vintage. It's more of an eclectic journal that I'm going to use to kind of collect all my things. And the paper bag was really fun to use. And then we have some ruffles here. I have to decide on what kind of closure. So today what I wanted to show you is probably about 3 different ways that you can use a paper bag. Now, some of these ideas are not necessarily original to me. Julie over at, I think, Camelia's Crafts is her channel. I'll link it for you below. She had done something similar to this, but with smaller paper bags. So what I did with mine is I cut these are cut down, but they're still relatively tall. And I'm showing you this one because earlier in one of my videos, we were talking about harvesting images from books, and these images are ones that I have harvested. Now, the way this paper bag works is you can use either a regular paper bag and cut it down to size, or you can use some of the smaller ones if you have them. I believe you can get them on Amazon if you need to. But this particular design allows you to open it up at the side, and also allows you a little pocket right here. So let me explain to you what I did just using, let me see if I have a regular paper bag right here. In using a regular paper bag, I didn't want it to be the same size. So what I did is I cut off of each end. And when you do that, you get something like, I thought I had, okay. You get something like this over here. So these are just trimmed down paper bags, basically. Some of them don't have, let me see if this one has, these don't have the edges off, but I trimmed down each of them on each edge. And when you do that, you have to take out these two pieces. And these two pieces are the ones that will automatically come off whenever you trim the bag. So you want to take those pieces out. You can save them later to do something with the paper bag pieces if you'd like. Additionally, there is the option of cutting it just to one side. So if you cut it to one side, what you're going to get is a paper bag that's basically going to look like half of a bag if you would open it up all the way. So what we want to do in this particular case, and you can make it shorter, you can scallop this up at the top if you have some pinking shears. Just depends on how big your journal is that you want to put it in. But what what you can do with these, and this is what I did with this one, is I just sewed down the one side. That just gives some interest with the zigzag sewing. And then I still have this part open, and if I want to go back later and sew anything, I can. But for this part, we can then find a tag or whatever we want to use, and we can stick it right in here, and we have this lovely this is going to fit several tags actually, and we have this great paper bag. Now you can do, I did some netting here, and I did put a string for the butterflies, inked it up. You can do whatever you want with your paper bag based on, what your journal design is. So there's another option. Oh, let me show you one other thing. So if we were to take an index card, okay, and this is about the correct size, right here, okay, we have a pocket on this one. So if we take these calla lilies and we stick them in here, we have a little pocket. So you can put a lighter background design and then a few tags in this pocket. We know we have this side that we can use, and then right under this yellow, what I did is I glued this part of the bag right here, and right under this yellow piece we have another place for a really cute tag option about the size of an index card. And you can cut yourself a tab, you can leave this as a tab like it is, whatever you like, but it has a great option for a pocket right there. So it's very versatile as far as how many little pockets and tucks you can put in your journal. The next kind that we have is, after I cut down the bag, I just sewed the whole thing on the sides. So what we would have here is just one pocket, and then of course we would have this nice pocket right here. Now at this point you could decide what size you want your paper bag to be. So you can cut it down more if you need to do that for your particular design. You could even turn it down like this and make it some type of flip if you didn't want to use the whole pocket. You can also turn it up like this and make a much bigger pocket and a shorter top. So you have a couple ways that you can fold your paper bag to make it fit more compactly or make it fit for you within your journal. So we're talking about turning down the top to make a flip. If you do glue right here or sew right here, that flip could have a little pocket. Or you can leave that open, turn this up, and create for yourself a deeper pocket here. You'd have to glue and glue, and then you still have your pocket here, and you can decorate this then however you want. So that's the second way that you can use this paper bag, is by just cutting it down and sewing down both sides so that you have a pocket here, and then again you can decide if you want to use any of the other folds. Now these that I have are like the one that I showed you that I had already decorated, but I want to show you one other kind. So let me put these together. This one is actually pretty interesting because as it is right now, it gives you a flip open piece, or you can glue it down. If you glue it down, you automatically have a tuck spot or a pocket, okay? Then you have a pocket here and a pocket here, and then of course you have your pocket here. Now let me show you how we got to this stage. So with a paper bag that you have cut just down the side so that you can get rid of that extra that you may not need. If you're using a smaller bag, you would just want to open the end. So after you cut it down a little bit, you open it up, and you can see that there's the gusset that's still in it. So you want to push the gusset out. Hopefully I can do this without too much trouble. You want to push the gusset out, and where you see the seam right here, you want to go ahead and just press it down from the outside, sort of like this. So I'm going to keep pressing it down and poking this out until you get a good seam. Then just make sure this is done correctly. So we've taken the seam of the gusset and we've just reformulated it, but we've brought it to the outside. After that, then you want to pull this part out. Okay, like you're flattening the bag on the bottom. So after you pull the gusset out and you flatten the bottom like this, this is what you come up with. And hopefully that isn't too difficult to understand. So after you fold this out, basically what you have now is the option to turn this in and make a page with a pocket. If you can't get these are lunch bags from like a grocery store, so they're not all going to be even. So you'll have to fix, for example, this unevenness with your whatever paper you're putting on top. So you could just leave your bag like this, and then you have your pocket here and your opening here and a flip and a pocket. Okay, if you like that, then that's great. You can also take the bottom and flip it up halfway like this and just crease it, and then fold over your pocket. Nice and neat. We'll fold over our pocket. And then you have a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. You may have a pocket here, but it's going to be kind of tiny. So what I would actually recommend is gluing this part down. And then you have this nice little pocket, double pocket, flip, or as I mentioned, you can just glue it down. I'm going to show you how I glue it down so you'll know for your reference. And I'll show you how to do each one of these. So we already opened this one. Let me see if I have another. Okay, so here we have one that's open, okay? So we took that gusseted part and we opened it, and then we folded it like this so we could get the bottom straight, and then we just creased it wherever we needed to. No fancy creasing tools needed. And then we can fold the bottom up like this and fold the bottom up lower. We want it to a little bit lower so we can have like a double-decker pocket. And then we can fold this over for a flip. Now, if you're going to use this as a flip, which I think is a really cute option, or you can do something like adding a one of those, a cluster or something here would be cool. But let's do this so that we know that our piece is going to stay in line the way we want it to. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run some glue on this end of the pocket and just glue it to the second one, the second bottom piece. And then I'm going to open this up and I'm going to run some glue right here and close this piece. So here we have our 2 staggered pockets right here. Now, if we want to make a pocket here, we need to glue this piece down. You always want to glue down anything that's going to flap up and be in your way, okay? So we're gluing the first pocket down, and then this one we will glue down as well. And what I was telling you about these being supermarket bags or sacks is that they're not going to be perfectly even. So just keep that in mind. It's just because of the way they're probably mass folded. So here we have then, because we glued those down, we have another little secret pocket in here. So you can fold this over. And then we have our flip. Very cool. So if you don't want to have this part open, we can just take a bead of glue and put it down along the side, or you can run it through your machine, whatever you want to do to close that piece. And then when you do so, you won't have to worry about that part flapping open. And you have still your top part that you can make. I thought I saw my other hole punch somewhere here. I must have been mistaken. This one is just too small. Oh, here it is. I knew I took it out. My biggest one just wouldn't punch anymore, even though I ran it through some Now this one's gonna give me a time, and it's only punching a little piece of bag. I hope it's gonna rip it. Okay. Never you be mind. That's one thing that I have to say that I've gotten on Temu that I don't like, are their punches, because they don't last very long. At least in my experience. You know, to me, a circle punch should be ready to be used at any point. But you can use a circle, and you can cut out your thumb hole as big as you want it to be. I do have a bigger punch over there that I could have used, but it's way over on the other side. So just punch, and then cut out whatever you need. For your hole punch or your hole, and I would only cut it on the one side, not both sides, but that's up to you. Both sides would be okay too. And I'm gonna have to do that because my paper got cut on the other side. So kind of looks awkward, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. We might be able to fix it with some paper here in a sec. So we have this top loading piece, and we have our flip. Now here we have, again, some paper bag that's gonna flap around. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna add some more glue and just close that piece, because I don't want it to be all over the place. Okay, so let me just look and see what I have. One of the things that Julie was using, and I adore her. I could listen to her for hours. Of course, I love listening to anybody that has a different accent than I do. I don't have an accent at all. But let's say, for example, we would use this piece, even on the back. You see how we can make up for that issue with cutting out the 2 divots instead of 1. You can add this. Now I don't want to do that because probably I will glue this piece in. And you know what I'm gonna do, because that really bugs me. I don't like the way that, oops, you guys okay? I hit you with the slicer. I'm gonna cut this off because I don't like it. Okay. No me gusta. And that way I don't have to worry. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this little guy again. And he's done. Put this over here. I'll fool with that later. So then what I started to say was that Judy had all these beautiful images that she had gotten from an Edith Holden book. And I don't have one of those, although I did finally order myself one, thankfully. But I had a book of floral, floral design. So it's almost exactly the same size. I had a book of floral design, so what I did was I actually photocopied some of the index pages that had the different kinds of florals on them. And I really love these images. So I'm sure I'll love the Edith Holden ones even more. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing Jean's method of measuring. I'm going to measure here. And then I'm going to measure right here. Okay. So let me put this in my cutter. It's so funny, I watch Tina sometimes from Shabby Dabby Doodah. If you never watched her, she's fun, she's fast, but what she doesn't use a cutter. She just, you know, makes it however she can. She'll cut it with the scissors. I can't do that. Mine would be all over the place. So let me keep that little tiny piece because I may need it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting this so that I can put it right here. And I think it's still a tiny bit tall. So let me cut this just a hair. And then I could put it right on here. Okay, get some glue going here. I'm just gonna put it right on the bag. Now I'm not putting glue up too far to the top because I don't want the glue to accidentally close the bag whenever it squishes out, which can definitely happen. So I'm trying to keep the glue away from the top of the bag. So this is going to be our background. Let me see how big this is. Depending on how big this is, we might be able to use it as a continuance right there for a pocket. That's a good idea. Okay, so on this one I am going to use scissors. So I'm going to trim this right here and see. I should have covered this pocket before I glued it down. Because I can go just like this. Now it's not going to match up perfectly because I had to cut some of it off, but we'll get it as close as we can. Where's the top of the pocket? Right here is the top of the pocket. So let me pull this. Okay, let's put some glue on here. And then I'm going to line this up. I didn't see what this flower was called, but it kind of reminds me of an anemone. I could be wrong though. Just line that up and put that right here. Then I can glue this back down and that won't be in the way. So there we have the pocket and the other pocket. So if you look, if we put this right here, here we have a pocket. And here we have another pocket. But we need something fancy to put on the bottom of that. Let's see if we can use something like this. This looks kind of nice too. So let's turn this over and we will do it the Tina way and just cut it with our scissors. And then I rounded this bottom part, so I'm hoping that if I put these on, I can put it on the rounded part at the bottom. And that way it'll look nice. So some of the images that you're going to see in this project are things that I've made digitally, and then these are ones that came from my flower arranging book. The reason why I'm not too worried about this is because what's going to happen is this flip is going to come over and we're not going to see it as much. But we have these nice colors going on, and I think, let me see if I can do anything with this burgundy. It's actually too short. Too short. This kind of has a pink in it. So we could do something like this. Kind of remind you of the sky, but in a pink color. Here's another one that's kind of a gradient. Really pretty. I think I like the pink better. So with this one, I'll flip this over. And we have to cut it like this, and then down here, and then here. And actually what I may do with this, since I am, let's see if I can do a wrap like I sometimes do. So let's see. I can do this, definitely, but the nice thing about doing a wrap or a fold is that not only do you get the best use of your paper, but also you get a nice crisp seam on the outside. So let me see. I'm going to fold this better because it's uneven. I'm going to fold it, and then let's stick it back in here, make sure it's the right size. This pink is pretty, so I need to cut it right here. Now this came out of a set that I got from Temu, and actually there are some tuck options right here, aren't there? So before I cover that, let me see what fits down in here. If it fits down in here first, that way we can take advantage of those little tuck spots in the flip. Boy, we have all kinds of fun angles and things that we can use on this. Just have to make sure that when you're covering it, it looks like, you know, it looks nice. Now see, down here, it has nothing to cover it, especially since I decided to put it inside. Maybe what I'll do is just leave one tuck spot. And let me see how that looks. Almost covers it. Let's see if we can put it down here and here. Okay. So what can be done when you have a piece of paper? Let's just say, for example, you really wanted to use this pink and it's too short. So what I would do is put it down at the bottom the best that you can, and then at that point we can always add some lace or some trim to dress it up a little bit. So let me go ahead and put this piece down. I want to put a nice amount of glue so it glues nice and firm. I'm only going to leave one tuck spot. Now, if you want to leave 2 in yours, you can. I pull this up. Does it need to be down quite that far? Oh no, it's not going to want to move. That's one thing about your glue. When you're doing something like this, if you have a really good glue, like the art glitter glue, you're not going to have the opportunity for that forgiveness where you can move your pages around. Just doesn't allow you to do that, sadly, with this type of glue. Okay. All right, so there we have this piece put on. That looks pretty nice, and we even have sneaked in another tuck spot here. So I think what I'm going to do is, I love this option, but I need to cover this. I don't like it. I shouldn't have cut it, but it's cut, so I'm not gonna worry now. I do have some of these little they're just different meshy type of designs, and I could put something like that over it and it would cover that up nicely. This one is a purple one. Let's see what this one, I don't care for that one as well. Here is a pink one. Okay, so I like that. And I'm going to, these are hard to mark, so thank goodness they have squares. So I'm going to cut it right here and right here. So hopefully that'll be, looks like it has a slice over there, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Here, and where was the other piece? So I'm gonna go up to that, and then down this row. This is interesting. This is an interesting product to work with, and one of the things that I'm dying to try is all the lace paper that everyone has been making. I think her name is Terry from Treasure Books. She, I think, originally brought this lace paper idea to light, and I really want to try it and see how it works out for some of my projects. So I have some mulberry paper and I want to try it with that. Not very much, but I can't see myself making handmade paper to make it. I can't see myself doing all that because it's just too much for the smaller space that I have. Okay, so by adding this, it not only adds some interest, but it covered up this spot that I didn't really like. And I think that looks cool. So once again, I'm gonna have to glue this side and this side. Okay. So there we have the flip out, pocket 1, and then pocket 2, and then we have pocket 3, we have tuck. So we need some kind of little piece of paper in a triangle shape to cover that tuck spot. Let's see. Okay, so this is just Jean's method of bending and not measuring anything, and just, although these kind of corner things are kind of tough to get right anyway. So, let me put some glue here and here, and right here. So there we have our corner covered, where we're going to have our corner tuck. I love that. Now over here we can decide, that got bent different. Over here we can decide, do we want to put a piece of lace? Do we want to leave it like it is? I think, personally, I'm not sure. I have a large piece of lace that I think would go over it good. Let me see how big it is. Actually, I think I would use that. It would be off the edge somewhat, but let me see. It actually goes this way. It would be off the edge somewhat, but I like that on there. So let me trim it right here. And I'll fix that top then once I get it done. I'm gonna zip some glue down here and here and here and lay this right. Make sure it's correct at the bottom and at the top. And I will have to, I believe, trim that. So I'm just going to hold this for a little bit. And I need to trim all these little crazy little squirrely things. Crazy little squirrely things. Yeah, that still bends nicely. I like it a lot. I'm not sure if I would like it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. We are going to take out, I'm gonna cut this down. This one has lines on it too, so I can see. So I'm going to put this right here. Is it acceptable? I'm just going to put it right over the edge. I don't know. Okay, I can use this glue. This is my beacon glue, and I tell you, sometimes it likes to evaporate on me, and I don't even know how much is, has actually evaporated in this terrible heat that we've been having. Okay, so there we go. Now what we'll do is take some of this middle out of this trim. Okay, middle out, and we're going to go like this. Okay, and it will look like we never took any out because we are going to stick it together. There we go. Don't even know that we spliced that together except for at the top, and we can fix that then, and that'll just go smoothly right through there. Isn't that cool? And then this little piece you could save and use for something else later. Oops. Okay, so there you have a flip with a tuck, 2 pockets, 3rd pocket, and actually I think we have a 4th small pocket. Let me just see if it didn't get glued together. You can do this under here, but like I said, be careful because once you glue it, sometimes it's hard to make it look nice. So it has glued together. Let's see. Okay, we just opened it right up. So right here is another place for a tag. I do have a couple tags here that I made out of some of the floral pieces. So we can put these big ones. We can put this big one back here. And this one right here. And I think the part that I like the best about paper bag and other like tall skinny projects is that when you put your toppers on, how they come out the top, and it's like a flourish out the top. I really love that. So this is going to be very nice. I will probably actually, I was wondering, this is cute. We could put an image on this, or like I said before, we could put some type of cluster on it. I kind of like the cluster idea, so let me see what I have here. This one's nice with the yellow flower. We could put this on it. I have this one with the bow. don't like that one as well. These are all pockets. So we'll put this one on. And I'm just gonna lift this up, and I'm gonna lift this up a little bit, and I'm just gonna do a staple. So that'll be on there as an opening for our piece. That came out really nice. I'm very pleased with that, and I hope you are too. You know, we craft because we love it. So this is August 2nd. I hope to get something out for you guys every week. I mean, every day. So I'm gonna try working on that. I wish it would just cool off. I'm complaining about the weather. And the way it is right now, I don't know two people who are not. So, and also I have some other things that are Tim Holtz that we could stick in here. Like this says registered, and then we have this pink postcard. That would look really nice in there, wouldn't it? So you can put that in there. This little guy right here. And we have our closure. So cool. I love it. You know what I think this needs? Where are my I thought I had my brads right here handy, but I must have tucked them somewhere. Okay, no problem. But I think it would be cute to put a brad right here, just to show as if you're opening the door. I know they're here. Where they're at, nobody knows. So it's nice when you have project or pieces of your previous designs that you've made that you can include in your current project. So don't forget about what you made previously. Go ahead and add them. I hope you like this little project of how you can use a paper bag. I think we did 3 or 4 ways. So I will do a part 2 just so you all know exactly how we can do this, and we can do some more together. So thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate it. Share, share, share. Please subscribe. I would love it. I'm coming up with the details of a contest soon, so I will talk to you very, very soon about that. Have a great night. Bye for now.